Hello students, in this video we will be discussing about a very important concept, that is production. So every business or any businessman invent or establish any organization or the company or the firm with the motive profit or profit maximization. To attain the profits or to generate the profits, business must produce the products or services. Without producing the products, that is physical units, or the services, intangible units, here one business cannot generate any profits or achieve the targets, pre-established targets. So here in this video we are going to discuss about that production, what is production, and how these products will produce by the producers or the firms, and what are the different concepts of production. So after completion of this video you will be understand what is the definition or meaning of the production, and what is the process of production, what are the factors of production, what is the returns to scale, and what are the different types of loss of returns to scale, and other concepts of production. So simply we can say that production is, in simple words, it is a process of converting the raw material into the finished product, is known as production in general term. Generally we are all know that here production means it is the process of converting the available raw materials into the finished goods in order to satisfy the needs and wants of the needed people, that is production. Here what are the raw materials that are available, whatever the resources that are available, converting into another form in a systematic manner, in a systematic process, is known as production. Now let us see a small definition for the production. So production is, it can be defined as the process of converting the inputs into outputs. So if you want to produce any product or the services, you must have one factor, that is input. When you have input factor, that you need to be introduced in the systematic process, then we will attain another factor, that is output. So here it is a process of converting these inputs into the outputs, is known as production. And here the inputs means land, labor, capital. Land, labor, capital. So they are the three important inputs that are used by the producer or organization to produce the products, whereas the output includes finished goods. Output includes the finished goods, or the final product that is used by the customer or the consumer to satisfy their needs, wants, desires, and other features or the requirements of the customers. So it may be the finished good, that is in terms of a physical unit, or the services, intangible product, intangible unit. So physical unit only, not the product, but also intangible units. So here what is production? Production is transferring the inputs into the outputs by using a systematic manner, is known as production. So here we'll take another definition for the production, that is an organized activity of transferring physical inputs into outputs which will satisfy the needs of the society. If the products or the services that are produced by the business or organization or the producer not satisfying the needs of the society, needs of the human beings, needs of the customers or the consumer, we cannot say that it as a product or the service. So product should be satisfy the needs of the society. Product should be used by other people for other purposes, then only we can say that that is called a product. So here the physical inputs means the resources that are available for the business, and output means the finished product, that is finished product means readily available for the customers to use, that is what called production. So what is product? It is the process of transferring the inputs into outputs, transferring the inputs into outputs in a systematic manner, in a systematic manner. So it is the process. Here inputs are processing in order to produce the output. So what are the inputs here? The inputs may be raw material, labor, capital, technology, machinery, land, and other resources that are available to produce the product. So based on the nature of the product or the services, you may use any some of these or all of these or one of these factors of inputs in order to produce the output. Here the output means it is a final product or finished product, that may be in the form of tangible or intangible. Tangible or intangible. Tangible means physical product, or intangible means this is like kind of a service, So finished product or the final products are the tangible or intangible, that is in the form of physical units or in the form of services. So this is possible only through certain process. So we may use certain process in order to convert the inputs into the outputs. We may use certain technology, machinery, or a process to convert these inputs into the output. So inputs are raw material, labor, capital, technology. All these are the inputs. Converting these inputs into the output is known as production. The process of converting the inputs into the output is known as production. So this is a simple definition for the production, that is here production defined as converting the available resources or available inputs or the required inputs to output or the finished product or the final product, or in terms of in the form of physical units or the services, is known as production. In simple words we can say converting the inputs into the outputs is known as production. So an organization need to make an optimum utilization of these factors, whatever the factors available in the business, to achieve the maximum output. So why we require to produce the maximum output? Because here the every business or the producer has an objective that to maximize the business performance in terms of profits, in terms of service, in terms of production, in terms of in different areas. So here they must use all these factors to achieve the maximum output, right? Here production also can be defined as an organized activity transferring the physical inputs, that is resources available, to the output, that is finished goods, which will satisfy the needs of the society. So whatever the inputs that are available, whatever the products that are producing, whatever the resources that are available, converting into the output, hence we are producing the finished product in terms of physical or intangible. So that product, that physical unit or intangible services must satisfy the human needs, the society in the market. So it can also define production is an activity, whether the physical or the mental, which is directed to the satisfaction of other people's wants through exchange in terms of money or money's worth. So this is a simple definition for or introduction for the production. We need to remember this as converting these inputs into the outputs. Here systematic manner means conversion process. It is a conversion process of conversion into the output is known as production. Okay, now let us see the production function. So production function is the functional relationship between the inputs and outputs of an organization. So what is production function? Production function is the functional relationship between the inputs or the resources that are using by the producer to produce the products and the total finished product or the output of an organization is known as production function. In other words, the technological relationship between inputs and outputs of an organization is also known as production function. The technological relationship between inputs and outputs. What are the inputs? All the resources that are using by the organization, and the output is the final product. Here the inputs are, the resources are the raw material, technology, labor, employees, buildings, capital, and all these are the resources that are using, and the output is the final output, that is quantity of output that is producing by using the resources that are available in the business. The relationship between these two is known as a production function, and it is also defined. Production function is the technological relationship between which explains the quantity of production that can be produced by a certain group of inputs. The total products that are produced are the quantity of production that can be produced by a certain group of inputs. It is related with a given state of technological change. Here, more the changes in inputs or the technology, more the output, and vice versa. So production function also explained that the quantity of products that are producing by the certain group of inputs. Here mathematically it is also represented as QP equal F of L1, L2, C, E, T, O, M. So here these L1, L2, C, E, T, O, M are the resources, the inputs, certain group of inputs using to produce QP, that is quantity of production. The functional relationship between these set of inputs and the quantity of products that we are producing, that is producer producing, is known as production function, where QP means quantity of output, quantity of production, otherwise quantity of production. F means functional relationship, L1 labor, L2 land, C means capital, E means entrepreneur, T means technology that we are using. O means organization. M means machinery. So they are the different inputs, set of inputs, group of inputs are used to produce this QP quantity of production. The functional relationship these set of inputs and the quantity of production is known as production function. Here more changes in the inputs, more changes in the quantity of production and vice versa. Increasing in the inputs, increasing in the quantity of production, decreasing in inputs, decrease in quantity of production. So that the changes that are occurred in the business is known as a production function. That changes shows by this functional relationship. So functional relation, production function simply we can define as it is a functional relationship or the technological relationship between the inputs that are introduced by the producer and the outputs that are produced by the output is known as production function. Now let us see what are the different factors of production. What are the different factors of production? So whatever the product inputs that are introduced by the business, what are the inputs that are using to show the relationship between the inputs and outputs are known as factors of production. Factors of production. What are they? Factors of production nothing but inputs that are used to produce the product or the production is known as factors of production. So factors of productions are the inputs that are used to producing the final output. The main aim of this inputs nothing but here earning an economic benefit. So why we are introducing these inputs to produce the product? With the aim of earning an economic benefit. If there is no economic benefit for using these inputs or the factors, need not to produce the products. When the producer expecting some economic benefit, when the producer assuming that economic benefit by using this factor or the factors, then they can implement, they can use these factors to produce the product. Simply we can say that factors of productions means the inputs that are used by the producer to produce the final product with the aim of earning an economic benefit is known as factors of production. What are they? The major factors are land, which is denoted by L1 in production function. So land is the natural resources. Not only the land and also the relating to the land, all are comes under the land which are used to produce the product. So in every business, if you want to produce, if you want to produce any products, we require to have some land in order to construct a building, to produce the product, to conduct any operation. So land is the natural resources which are free gifts of nature. So it includes all the gifts of nature available to mankind, both the surface as well as under the surface of the land. So the payment for the land is the rent. If the land is not owned by the business or the producer, then we need to pay certain amount to the land. That land, the payment that we are paying for the land is said to be the rent or the lease. Example, soil, rivers, water, forest, all these are comes under the natural resources that are available to the producer to produce the product. Based on the requirement, these all the resources may be used by the producer to produce the product. Hence, the land is one of the important factor that is used by the producer. The second one is labor. It is denoted by L2. Labor means human force, manpower. So this labor may be classified into two, that is skilled labor, skilled labor also called as employees, unskilled labor, unskilled labor. Based on the requirement, we may engage any one of these two or these two people in order to produce the product. Here, this is unskilled labor most probably used in agriculture sector. Agriculture sector used mostly this unskilled labor. Here the skilled labor other than agriculture like IT sector use this skilled labor more than the unskilled. Means based on the requirement, based on the skills requirement for the people or the labor, the producer can engage these people in order to produce the product. Human efforts done mentally or physically with the aim of earning income as known as labor. So it is a physical or mental effort of human being in the process of production, whether they are using here mentally or physically. So the labor that are using mentally called or comes under the skilled labor, physically comes under the unskilled labor. So based on the people required, the producer can engage, right? And the third factor that are used by the organization is the very important input, that is C, capital. Capital is one of the main resource of an organization to produce the product. If you want to pay the salary, if you want to pay the wages, want to purchase the raw material, purchase the machinery, purchase the technology, whatever you want to do while producing the product, for every activity the capital will play a significant role. So capital not only in the terms of or in the form of money, but money's worth. So here example, assets. Assets in the business in terms of buildings or comes under the capital. And money that is used for purchasing the raw material, for that also we require capital. So capital is one of the important resource or the input or the factor of production which plays a significant role in producing the product. The next one is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur denoted by E. Entrepreneur example, the people or the person who is producing the products in the business. Entrepreneur is a person who bring all these three resources at one place to produce the product. Without this person, without this entrepreneur, without this input, we cannot produce the products in the business. So entrepreneur is a person who organizing the other factors and undertakes the risk and uncertainties involved in the production. Whatever the risk he will face, and whatever the losses he can bear, whatever the benefit he can enjoy. And the main objective of this entrepreneur, we are treating it as an input, means here he is a person who brings all these resources or the inputs at one place in order to produce the products. Then other than this entrepreneur, organization. Organization is denoted by O. It is a place, organization is a place where all these resources including entrepreneur can work, can start an operations or activities to produce the product. So to produce the products, to assemble all these resources or the inputs in one place, that we require some place, that is called organization. So here organization is a place where the land, labor, capital and entrepreneur can assemble in order to produce the products. The next one is machinery. Machinery. Machinery is denoted by M. Machinery is also one of the important input which can be used to produce, which can be used to process in order to produce the finished product or the final output. Without machinery, some sectors are very importantly depending on the machinery or the technology. For such sectors or the industries, machineries are the very important factor which plays a significant role to produce the products. So they are the different factors or the inputs that are used by the business to produce the product. What are they? Land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, organization, machinery. If you want, you can take other factors also, right? Other factors like machinery, after machinery, others like water, fuel, gas, lighting, air. So all the other different resources are the inputs based on the requirement. Here we require to engage, we require to take into consider while producing the product. Let us take an example. Here, based on the nature, based on the requirement of the producer, we need to engage, we need to take up as input to produce the product. For example, here in case of agriculture sector, agriculture, to produce a crop, to produce the paddy, we require more land. We require more land than technology. Because here land is requirement of land is more than the technology. After land, we require labor. Which labor? Unskilled labor. Unskilled labor. So land and unskilled labor is playing a significant role in agriculture in order to produce maximum output, in order to produce maximum products. But whereas in case of IT sector, here instead of land, we require more technology than land. Here technology in terms of computers, laptops and other technical equipments require more than the land. And the labor here require which type of labor? Skilled labor is required to produce the products or services in case of IT sector. So here these four are the inputs. These four are the inputs, but based on the requirement and the need, importance, we require to take up in order to produce the optimum products. Here in case of agriculture sector, land and unskilled labor plays a significant role. So these two are the inputs for producing the product in agriculture sector. Whereas in case of IT sector, technology and skilled labor play a significant role. Hence, we require to take these two as inputs for producing the products and services in IT sector. See, based on the requirement, based on the nature of the products that we are producing, nature of industry, here we require to take up any one of or some of these inputs in order to produce the products, in order to get the economic benefit. So this is about the factors of production. All these factors are used to write the factors production or the production function. So production function is the functional relationship, the quantity of production that we are producing, and all these factors of production is known as production function. Now let us see different types of production functions. Types of production functions. Based on the time factor or the time period, the production functions are classified into two. So types of production functions are classified into two, that is short run production function, and long run production function. long run production function. So here we are classifying the production function into two, that is short run production function and the long run production function. So the production that we are conducting for the short period, say 1 year, example 1 year. In the period of 1 year, the production that we are conducting in the business is said to be the short run production. The production function that we are using for producing the products within that particular period is known as short run production function. And the long run production means greater than 1 year. The production that we are going to conduct after 1 year for more than 1 year is said to be the long run production function. So the long run production function means the production that we are conducting for the period more than 1 year is known as long run production, and the function that we are production function that we are using for this long run production is known as long run production function. How we can define and what is the basis? Here in case of short run production, we may find two factors, that is fixed factor variables, fixed factor inputs, fixed factors in terms of inputs, and variable factors, fixed factors and the variable factors in terms of inputs. See, as we know that here the input factors are not the constant at any time or every time. So there may be a changes for the short period and the long period. So based on the time period, short run production function, in short run production function, the inputs or the resources are classified into two, that is fixed factors and the variable factors. Here the fixed factors are example land, buildings that are available, machinery that is available, and others, means which are established, which are set up, which cannot be changed frequently. Once you set up, once you fixed, once you established in the plant, in the organization, in terms of plant, in terms of machinery, in terms of technology, in terms of buildings and the land, we cannot change. The setup cannot be changed for a short period. So such factors are known as fixed factors. After 1 year, after 2 years, these factors may change based on the requirement of the organization, based on the requirement of the production, and so on. But here in short period, once you set up, once you establish, once you purchased, once you constructed, it cannot be changed. Such factors, input factors, is known as fixed input factors. And whereas coming to the variable factors, here these variable factors are changed even in short run or the long run. Here the short run period, the variable factors are example raw material, labor, capital, and other factors which are with the nature variable. These factors are the variable factors in short period. So here the input factors are classified into fixed factors and the variable factors. The fixed factors are land, buildings, machinery, and others, whereas the variable factors are raw material, labor, capital, and other factors which comes under the short run production function. Whereas coming to the long run production, there is no difference between fixed and variable, and all the resources or all the inputs are available for the production or comes under the variable factors only. Variable factors in long run, all are the variable factors. Example for all the variable factors are land may change, buildings may change, machinery setup may change, technology may be changed based on the requirement. Apart from this, raw material, capital, labor, and other resources that are available in the business. So in long run, there is no difference between fixed and variable input factors. All are the variable input factors only. We cannot able to differentiate, divide into the fixed and variable in long run. Whereas in case of short run, we can divide or classify into the fixed input factor and a variable input factor. So they are the two types of production function. So based on the resources that are available in short period in terms of fixed and variable, the function which is constructed, to produce the product is known as, the function which is constructed to disclose or to know the relationship between the quantity of output and the variables input factors that are available is known as short run production function. Whereas coming to the long run production function, the production function that is using to disclose the relationship between the quantity of products that we are producing in the long run and the resources that are available in the long run is known as long run production function. So they are the two types of production functions. Now let us see different types of products or the production. Types of products. Types of products. So basically there are three types of products. Products are classified into three, such as total physical product that is denoted by TPP, average physical product that is denoted by APP, marginal physical product that is denoted by MPP. So they are the three types of products that we can find in every organization. So here total physical product, average physical product and marginal physical product. Total physical product equaled, it can be expressed in mathematical formula as total physical product equal average production physical product into quantity of labor. Average physical product into quantity of labor, or total physical product equal summation of marginal product. Whereas the average physical product is denoted or expressed in terms of mathematical equation as average production or physical product equal total physical product by quantity of labor. Total physical product by quantity of labor, or the relationship between the total physical product and the quantity of labor, where the marginal production is the difference in total production and the difference in quantity of labor. So here marginal physical product equal difference in total production by total physical product by difference in quantity of labor is also known as marginal physical product, or it is also written as total physical product N minus total physical product N plus 1. Total physical product N minus total physical product N minus 1. So this is a formula or equation which we are using to determine the total physical product and the average physical product and the marginal physical product. They are the three types of products. Now let us see one by one what is total physical product and how this physical product can be shown on the graph with a schedule. Okay, the first one is total physical product. The first one is total physical product. Total physical product is denoted by TPP. So total physical product means the total of goods and services. Total of goods or products or services produced during a particular period is known as a total physical product. So whatever the goods, products or services producing during a particular period is known as a total physical product. It is denoted by total physical product equal average physical product into quantity of labor or summation of marginal production is also one of the equation which is using to denote the total physical product. Now let us explain the total physical product by using the schedule and the graph. So that is called as a total physical product schedule and the total physical product curve. Total physical product curve. Now we will explain the schedule and the curve. Let us take here the period. The period is for example in terms of months, and the labor and total physical product. Total physical product or TPP, also known as total production, nothing wrong. It is also written as total production. Here the period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, the labor introducing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and the total production is 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500. 100, 200, 300 and 500. This is a schedule called as a total physical product schedule, TPP schedule. So by using this schedule we will construct one graph. We will construct one graph, x-axis and y-axis. On x-axis take labor in units, and y-axis we can take total physical product or total production, that is 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500. This is y-axis. So here how you are increasing the labor in units, proportionately the total production also increasing in the corresponding period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At 10, 100 units increased to 20 in terms of labor. Here the total production is increased in terms of units 200, 30 labor 300 in units, 40 labor 400 units, 50 labor produced 500. See, the relationship between these two is positive. There is a positive relationship between the labor that we are engaging to produce the product and the total products that we have produced during this period. Hence we can conclude that there is a positive relationship between these two. Wherever there is a positive relationship between the two variables, here the curve is always flows from left to right upward. Means here the labor in units 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So here, as there is a positive relationship between these two, the curve is always flows from left to right upward, that is total physical product is floating from left to right upward. Here you can point out like this: 100, 10, 200, 20, 300, 30, 400, 40, and 550. So they are the points that we have plotted and connected. Then the curve which is ascertained after connecting these points is known as a total physical product. Total physical product or total production curve. Total production curve. This is about the total physical product or total production or the total product. What is the definition of total product? It is the total of the product or the services or the goods that are produced by the producer or organization during a particular period by using the available resources. So it is denoted by TPP equal to APP into quantity of labor or summation of marginal production. This is a schedule and it is the curve of total production. Okay. The second one is average product. Average product or average physical product. Average physical product. So average product means average of the total production. We can say simply average of total production. Average of total production. Here average production refers the relationship between the total production and the quantity of inputs that we are using to produce output for a given period is known as average product or average physical product. Refers to the relationship between total physical product by quantity of inputs. Here I am taking an example, quantity of labor in units, that equal to average physical product. Average physical product or average production or average product defined as the relationship between total physical product and the quantity of labor is known as average physical product. In other words, here per unit of quantity of inputs introduced in producing the product is known as average product. Per unit of quantity of inputs that we are introducing to produce the total production is also known as average production. So average product or the average physical product can be explained by using the schedule and the graph. So average physical product schedule. Average physical product schedule. So here months, I am taking months per period, and number of units in terms of labor, and number of units total production, that is TP, and average production, number of units average product. So here we are producing for 5 months and the labor 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 for the corresponding period, and the number of units 100 units in terms of production for first month, 200 second month, 300 third month, 400 fourth month and 500 fifth month. Now coming to the number of units in terms of average production, as we seen, average production is total production by quantity of labor, means the relationship between the quantity of production and the labor, means here 100 by 10 that equal to 10 units, 200 by 20 equal to 10 units, 300 by 30 equal to 10, 400 by 40 equal to 10 and 500 by 50 equal to 10. So average production is always constant if the proportionately increasing the total production for every increase in the labor. How the labor is increasing? Proportionately the total production is increasing, then the average production, the average production per unit of labor is always constant, because 10, 100, 20, 200, 30, 300, 40, 50, 50, 500. How you are increasing the number of units in terms of labor, similarly or proportionately the total production is also increasing. Hence, the average production or average product is always constant. So, average product per unit is 10. Average product per unit of labor is 10 units. This is the APP, that is average production schedule. The same we can see, we will see on the graph how the curve will flow. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here on x-axis we will take labor in units, x-axis. On y-axis you can take average physical product, or we can also say average production. So here the average production is constant at 10. There is no changes. There is no changes in average production, because proportionately the total production is increasing for the corresponding labor in units. Hence, the average production, average physical production curve is floating from left to right horizontally parallel to the x-axis. This is about the average product or average physical product. So average physical product curve explaining by using the average physical product schedule. This is average physical product schedule and this is average physical product curve. For every increase in the labor or the input, proportionately the total production also increasing. In such cases, the average product is always constant. There is no changes, because of there is a positive relationship proportionately between the quantity that we are introducing in terms of labor and the total quantity that we are producing in terms of total production. This is about the average production or average physical production.